attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining Bublish for today's webinar on how to accelerate your book marketing success with Bublish. Today we're going to take a virtual tour of Bublish's platform, features, and benefits, and learn how to use Bublish in your social marketing. But before we get started, let me do a little housekeeping. We do want you to be interactive with us and ask questions throughout the webinar. So feel free to use the chat function in GoToMeeting and type in your questions. As you do so, I will prompt those questions over to our speaker, and we will get to them as we can throughout the presentation. If we don't get to your question, we will email you the response. Before we get started, I do want to ask, can everyone hear my voice well? And can you see the screen? Those two things are vital for success. Okay, so we'll go ahead and talk about our speaker. I'm delighted to introduce to you Kathy Meis. She's the founder and visionary for Bublish. Bublish is an award-winning social marketing platform designed specifically for you, authors. Kathy has more than 20 years in media and publishing, and she actually worked at Forbes as an editor. She has a phenomenal background, and she has great vision and insights for making sure that we help accelerate your success as an author. So without further ado, let me turn this over to Kathy.
Thank you, Joy. I appreciate it. Let me just slide this down here, and let's take a look at a book bubble. So I'm really excited, guys, to give you a tour of the platform, answer your questions, show you some of our new features, and stay with us to the end because you will be the first people in the world outside of Bublish and a few authors that we've been working with to see what's coming in just a few days to Bublish. We have redesigned the bubble stream. We have redesigned the bubble itself and added a new follow feature that is going to help you guys connect in a longer term fashion with your audience, which has always been our goal, to help you as authors establish a long-term relationship with the community of readers who appreciate your work and want to really actually end up marketing on your behalf, become your fans, and help you spread the word, which is what, the potential for social marketing, that's what it's all about, engagement and building a community of people who support you as an artist. So let's start here at the very beginning, and for some of you, you know what a book bubble is, and some of you are very new to the platform or just checking out the platform, haven't signed up yet, so I'm going to start with the basics. The book bubble is designed to be a social sampling tool, and you can break your book into hundreds of different samples and share these book bubbles, which are designed to showcase you as an author with a photo of you, your book, your bio, your synopsis, your website. All of those things are included in the book bubble. And basically what we call these are digital assets. So they're kind of an evergreen content that you can create on an ongoing basis to share excerpts into the social space on Facebook or Twitter, and tell the story behind your story. That is what the Author Insight is designed to do, is to help you tell the story behind the story. Why is that important? Because there has never been more content available in the world today, ever in the history of mankind. And while that the opportunity is great, it's really challenging to break through the noise. And telling the story behind the story, telling people the why you created these scenes, why you create these characters, and using your voice as a creator to share your samples first of all, it breaks down that whole need to be a salesperson, and secondly, it really it gives you it gives meaning to this. It shows it as a work of craftsmanship. It shows what went into it, and it also is engaging and starts conversations. And we see book bubbles all by people used all over the world to really break through that noise and start to engage people, draw them toward their work, and now with Follow, which we'll show you at the end, to start to engage in a longer term relationship, which we're very excited about. So the key with Bublish to understand is that just creating a single book bubble and sharing it once on Twitter and Facebook is really not going to get you anywhere. This is designed to be a tool where you can share samples quickly and easily, create meaningful content to share, and keep the conversation focused on your work without feeling like a salesperson. And you need to do it on a regular basis. You don't always have to create a new book bubble, but the bubbles that you create, you should be sharing them as part of your mix of content that you're putting out there on your social media channels, so that you're always constantly front of mind, not badgering, but just engaging and being part of the community that you want to build. So let's go back now that you have a sense of one big piece of the Bublish value proposition to you here, that this tool that really gives you a professional look as an author and see behind the scenes. I'm actually going into Denish's dashboard here on Bublish. He has a really cool story, State Department guy who traveled all over the world and writes about that. And we're going to start here. Before I even show you the metrics, I do want to point out right here our menu. So this is the way to get around Bublish, and it makes it really simple to navigate. So we were just in the bubble stream when you were looking at Dennis's bubble. We were in the bubble stream. Now we were on the dashboard. And here, if you wanted to go and watch, we have a number of tutorials. We have FAQs. The tutorials are all under 2 minutes. If there's something we show you today and you need a refresher, I highly recommend you watch the tutorials. There are tutorials that are more strategic, so they will show you how to use book bubbles in social campaigns. You can also visit your account and change things in your profile or your settings, and of course sign out. So that's the menu, and these are the conversions. So when you sign into your author dashboard the first time, none of this will be here. You will need to create a profile on Bublish, a social profile with your bio. And some basic information. It should only take you a moment, and then you'll be asked to upload an EPUB version of your book. I want to make 2 points about that. First of all, that you can, if you have an EPUB, upload it, or you can upload sample chapters of your book if you're not comfortable uploading the entire book. I do want to make clear that no one but you have access to the entirety of your book. We do not give readers any access to your book. Only book bubbles are shared with the readers, and those are created by you. So you can go anywhere in your book to create a book bubble, and we'll show you how to do that. But no one has access to your book except for you. So the metrics, so once you've created that and then you start sharing bubbles, you will be able to actually see the views. This is the high-level view of people who are looking at your bubble view. If you are a premium author or in our free trial checking out our premium services, you will see these metrics. You will also see the profile views, which is you do have a public profile as an author, and that would include all of your books. So if you have 5 books on Bublish, the readers would be able to access all of those 5 books and see your work collectively, and we'll show you that profile momentarily. just and you can see different time periods. You can move it around. I've just pulled up a full history so we can see, and then you can click in and see where the actual views are taking place on Bublish. If you emailed a bubble to someone or someone else emailed your bubble, you'll see that. Twitter or Facebook, and you can scale back in time and see the number of views that are taking place of your bubbles, and that is on an aggregate basis. So the more you're sharing out there, the more views, and there is a very definite correlation we see in these dashboards between the regularity that people share their bubbles and the number of views they get, and then the number of conversions they get, because quite honestly, people need to be aware of your work in order to be able to buy it. And then these are, I can point out right away that Dennis is probably not sharing socially his profile very much because he's not getting views on Facebook and Twitter, so he's getting them on Bublish primarily. But you can share your profile as a single piece of content, and that can lead people to all kinds of exploration of your work. And then here are the actual conversions that are taking place. They show the date, and is it Amazon, Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, or Smashwords? These are the top retailers that we work with, and wherever your book is available, we hear a lot from our authors that they actually see more conversions outside of Amazon than they realized that they had. So I think it's we always recommend to all authors that they should be very cognizant of the fact that it is to their benefit to be available on a number of different platforms, mostly because readers have different devices and they like their books in different formats and they're comfortable with different retailers. So you want to be where your readers can find you and make it convenient for them to go from discovering your work to actually purchasing it. Right below that you'll see, oh, and I should say just with conversions quickly, this does not guarantee a sale because we do not own the shopping carts at the retailers. What it means is that that is where the book bubble led the reader to click through. So they clicked through the bubble and went to that particular retailer. Then you'll see we do have sponsored offers now. A lot of these will offer special discounts. I'm going to just show one in particular to you guys. The IBPA has a great educational event. It's in Austin this year on April 10th, and they have a special discount, so we try to get you guys special discounts to things. So that's sitting right there. This is the educational piece, so we have the general tutorials that are on the menu, like I said, and you can go visit those. Or you can also be aware that there's content here that's created just for you. We have branding guides, something on Google Trends and keywords, and then information on metadata. So it's a little bit more in-depth. So this is Dennis's profile. You can see he has, his dashboard has a number of books that he's written, and he's got a number of bubbles for each of those. These are the links to those bubbles. I'm going to orient you first at the highest level, then we'll go to the actual bubbles. Wiggle room, he has not added a bubble to yet, so we're going to show you what it looks like to actually add a bubble. But let me just show you real quickly his profile, and that is where you can edit it. So as an award-winning author, say he found a typo and he wanted to change it, this is the bio that shows up in his book bubbles. This is the photo. You can change your photo here, and very easy to, you know, change your password. All those types of housekeeping things that you need to do can be changed here. So let's go back to his dashboard. Again, really easy to get back there when you just use that little menu. And if you would like to upload an EPUB file that he has already created, you just use this right here, upload an existing EPUB. and then go to your desktop to find the file. It just must be in the EPUB format, and like we said, it can be either sample chapters or the entire book. If you do not have an EPUB and you need to create one, we're going to show you this in a moment, but you can actually create an EPUB very easily on Bublish. You can create it either for the purposes of having sample chapters on Bublish, or you can create it to distribute your book. It meets all the EPUB requirements, and it's a one-click solution. So you can copy and paste the content in by chapter. You can choose a font, and you can download it as an EPUB. So we'll give you a tour of that. I don't want to do that in Dennis's in his particular dashboard because he doesn't have a book in development, but I have another author that we'll look at. So here at the highest level, this is all the author stuff, and then each book underneath it has book info, add a bubble, export the EPUB. So the book info is what's specific to that book. So if you have to change the cover, you can do that here. Here's the genre. Keywords travel with every single one of your book bubbles, so you can see that he's talking about, oh, he's got some very specific ones here: pedophilia, Latvia, communism, demonic. Think through what might be topics that are very specific to your book that are much more granular than just the genre that you're selecting, and they can travel with the book bubbles. Help with search engine optimization, which is how you're discovered on search engines if you are creating and sharing bubbles on a regular basis. And here's the synopsis. So if you had a typo in a synopsis and you need to change it, you just fix it here. And when you're done, just click done, and that would change it in all your bubbles, even the ones that are live. Let's go back to his dashboard. And so let me just show you one other thing before we create a bubble. Here is where you can share the entire profile. And if you have multiple books on Bublish, we highly recommend that you not only share the individual bubbles that you create, but you share your profile maybe once or twice a week with people. If you're adding new bubbles and there's new content, it will keep updating. So it becomes kind of a living, breathing, evolutionary type of product that can show people who have even seen it before new things and make them aware of it. So you just click Facebook or Twitter. I'm in Dennis's account, so I'm not going to do that right now, but I will show you how to actually post socially in a few moments. And then if you want to view the profile as a visitor would, as a reader would, you just click here. I'm going to point out, do you see all of these right here are functionality for you as an author? So if you want to see how readers view it, you just click over here. And now they get the buy links here. They see all your links to all of your bubbles, which they can click on and explore. They can like you on Facebook. They can follow you on Twitter. There's his name coming up. And they can actually buy the books from not only your bubbles, but from your dashboard. So now we're back in Dennis's view, in the author's view, and I'd like to show you how to create a bubble. Am I on track here, Joy? Am I covering everything I need to cover? I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Yes. Anybody writing any questions that I should answer while we're at the dashboard level?
No, I think we're good right now.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to show you now how to add a bubble to a book that you've uploaded to Bublish. So the key here again is that we've tried to make this really simple for you. Your book, you can go into any, I'm just grabbing something here, any part of your book through the table of contents, and you can grab some text, an excerpt. And remember, you want to grab something that you can tell the story behind the story. So then you're going to submit the excerpt. It's right here. So on this side, you check first, did I capture everything? Is this what the excerpt I want is? You can confirm that. And if you're not satisfied, you want to add one more paragraph, you just go backwards with this arrow and change the excerpt. And then you want to add your author insight. Now, for example, with Dennis's work, he's traveled all over the world, and he has lived in a lot of these countries, as a member I had the opportunity, I'm just kind of trying to show you a little typo there. So he may go into the specifics of what is something that happened in the particular excerpt that he's sharing. I do want to show you, when you go into the preview mode, it does explain how to go ahead and publish your bubble, which is by clicking Facebook, Twitter, or the email. At the moment that you share it socially with one of those accounts, you also publish it on Bublish.com, where readers can also encounter your bubbles and share them and have full access to all of your work. If you don't want this to show again, you just click that and then click OK. It also does say to not copy and paste the URL. That's this right here for your page, and the reason is because you are now in edit mode. So this is not the place to copy and paste the URL, and every once in a while we see authors do that and the link doesn't work. So we will show you how to generate the correct link. So again, here is the preview of the bubble. So whatever is here, you want to make sure you're happy with it before you publish it. And again, the author insight is as important as the excerpt. So you want to give that reader the experience of reading your work and sampling it and seeing if it resonates, and then also being able to hear what went into it, who you are as a writer. Break through the noise by telling them your why, telling them why you write in the genre you write, what influences you, why you created this scene, what's interesting about this character. I will say we just see people getting better and better. The authors are getting better and better at doing this, and the ones that really do tell the story behind the story and use the book bubble on a regular basis to share kind of a director's cut for books are the most successful at getting people to actually visit their buy pages on the major retailers. Should you find a typo in the author insight, you can go back and edit it, and then you would just come back to this screen. I am not going to share this because I'm creating this in Dennis's account, and he's been kind enough to let us do that. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and it's going to say your bubble will be saved to your dashboard but not published. Okay. And now I'm back on the dashboard, and you can see that this is the one that I just wrote, and it's not yet published. So here are the delete button. If I needed to edit it, I could go into edit mode and use the arrows to go backwards through the bubble creation cycle. Or if I choose to publish it, it would take me to the preview screen that we were just on, and then I could share it to Facebook or Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Did I delete it? I am sure. Might have to, oh, it's refreshing, sorry. So now down here, you will just see that there's not publish, there's only edit and share. So one thing we say to authors all the time, and this is, I think, really key, is that when you come to your dashboard, you can see he's got all of these digital assets, these book bubbles, lots of them created. Oops, sorry, it just refreshed. It's gotten rid of that. So he's created all of these digital assets for his book. These great stories with great excerpts, and he's sharing them on a regular basis. All you have to do to reshare a bubble that you've already created is click the share button, and you'll go right to the preview screen, and you just share it again. Very, very easy to reshare the bubbles you've created. And I think the key to success here is to think of getting started, especially because a lot of you I know are newer, by saying, you know, I will create for, say you have 2 books. Let's just say you have 2 books that you're working with. For 2 of my books, I will create a new bubble each week for the next 3 weeks. So then you have 6 digital assets that you can start mixing into your social channels on a regular basis, because there are, again, should be evergreen, meaning they are not tied to a particular date and time, and they can be cycled in. And we know how hard it is for you guys to have content to talk about your books comfortably and engage new readers and get them to take a look at what you're doing. And that's really what book bubbles can do. So you can mix them right in and keep cycling them in and plan out, you know, that you're going to share in kind of an ongoing cycle the number of digital assets you create. Now, as for creating new ones, I will say we have weekly events to showcase the newest book bubbles on Bublish. We have the very popular Sample Saturday event, which is a hashtag on Twitter, and Sample Sunday, also a hashtag on Twitter. The event is now sometimes running from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night with new book bubbles that are being posted. And so we share them for you into our channels, and then on Monday we take that whole stream and turn it into the Bublish Floating Bookstore, which is then shared by all the authors who are included in the Bublish Floating Bookstore, then are informed that they have been included and can share the bookstore as a single piece of content with their audiences. So we do try to get a lot of eyes on your newest book bubbles, and we want to make sure that you're aware that every week, you know, that you create a new book bubble, you'll be part of that showcasing event. But for the ones that you've created, they're there to help you on an ongoing basis. All you have to do is click share and share it again onto your Facebook or Twitter pages. So next, let me just show you the EPUB creation tool. And for that, I want to make sure I'm going to go into another account here that is on Safari.
Kathy, while you're getting ready to do that,
yeah,
we have a question that I know you're going to get to eventually, but maybe you can give a taste.
Okay.
The question is asking if there's any way to capture the all-important email address when readers view a profile or elsewhere. And so maybe you could give just a little high level of what you're going to show in a few minutes.
Yeah, so that is absolutely why we created Follow. And what I'd like to do is, as soon as we get through this part of showing you the EPUB creator, because I think there's a real opportunity for anyone who's in the middle of writing a book to see this tool and to see what it can do. But it will also, the rough cut book bubbles, as they're called, will also have the Follow feature, which I'm going to unveil to you today and kind of tell you what our release product looks like and what is coming next. And it is very exciting, and it is tied directly to authors being able to email followers about and update them and have a longer term relationship and break through some of that social noise by getting permission to give them content in their inbox. So then, with that being said, let me just show you real quickly the EPUB Creator, which is a revolutionary tool for a couple of reasons. We initially created this because so many books came to us that were created in free EPUB conversion or EPUB creation tools that were so poorly crafted, and they authors the ability to create their own high quality to the standard. They can be, you can create the book. If you have the book written, you can export an EPUB or a Word version of the manuscript. But if you have a book that's ready to distribute, you can just click Save as an EPUB and you can distribute it to any of the top retailers. It is compliant with all of them, and it saves you a lot of time and money and gives you control over that. You can also use it as a way to promote your book during the creation process. In the case of Jane Leader here, this is a nonfiction work that is in development. She actually has had it in the print version before and is now going to release it as an ebook when she's finished. So as you can see here on her dashboard, it says that it is a book in development. She has created rough cut book bubbles, as you can see, from the book to start sharing word and spreading news that it is coming out in a digital version. The fact that it is a book in development will show to the readers so that they know that. And the interesting thing is they will also, you can also, if you decide to create pre-orders for your books, you can click that you would like to add Amazon or Kobo or Apple, any place that you're going to set up the pre-orders, and the pre-order link will go here. That's a really, if you can be that organized about the release of your book, it can really help you kind of click up the algorithms to have pre-orders before you launch your book. So that is a strategy. It does take some organization. There are some pretty tight rules around making sure you deliver on the date that you planned on delivering to the major retailers. But we are here to help you gather pre-orders in a pretty revolutionary way. So let me take you into the book. So of course, book info is just like if you'd uploaded the book. That's where you can manage the keywords and the synopsis, and also the buy links or the pre-order links. And then if you finish a book, you can mark it as complete, and it will start to behave in the Bublish system as a published book. And then you can write the book, or you can create bubbles from it. I'm going to take you into the writing tool part of this so you can see it. So this is Jane's chapter 8 in her book. On the left-hand side, you will see the unformatted text and the way to that she's just got lots of content in here. And on the right-hand side, you'll see that in layout. So I'm just going to add, this is a bit of test content. So you can see that as I write here on the left side, it's laying it out on the right side. And let me just delete that. A few things to know: if you want to add a new chapter, you click here. This becomes blank, and you put the name of the chapter here. If you need to delete a chapter, you can see she's got a lot of different chapters here. If you need to delete a chapter, you can do that as well here. You can do the basics of bolding text or italicating it, underlining. You can add an image here. You can search or find and replace things. All of that can be done on this side, very similar to what you would find in Word. On the right-hand side, what this allows you to do is, throughout the entirety of the book, with a single click, change things like adding the chapter numbers at the top of the chapter, or adding the chapter titles, or removing them. She likes it this way, so she's put it in this way. The other thing that can be done, or we have 3 different templates, and we'll be adding more. So you can see now that's changing the layout and the style and the fonts. Here's another kind of a different look if that fits you're most inclined to do that, and then the classic that she chose. And you can just go from different chapters here, make changes. She's got some subheads. And let's just say that in this chapter, she would like to, it also saves automatically, just so you know, but you can always click save. In this chapter, let's say that she'd like to share a rough cut book bubble, and from her dashboard you could see that she was already doing that. So now I'm going to just see that I'm not going to take that one because she needs to put in a little change in her template. Let me just do, let's just say right here. Okay, and then, oops, I lost it, my fault. Then I want to add a rough cut book bubble. Now this will be basically exactly the same as if you were creating a book bubble from a regular book. You can see here's the text that I selected. I'm going to add the author insight, and I'm going to add some text here, tell the story behind my story, and here is the preview of that. Everything's here and she's ready to share. And if you go back to her dashboard, it will say it's not going to be published because I didn't share it. And there it is, not yet published, and I'm going to delete that. And then you can see it's gone, and she does have the other bubbles that are here in her manuscript. So that is basically just an overview of how to use the EPUB Creator. And again, this can be a great tool to build not only for conversion, if you need to convert a book, you can basically just download an EPUB. I'm just going to show you how easy that is. And then you can even open it in a, oh, I think it's going down here, sorry. You can open it in, iBooks and take a look at it and make sure you're happy with it. And if you're not, you can go back in and make the changes in the manuscript and then just download it again. If you need to save it as a Word because you want to do more editing and completely have your Word document functionality, you can do that. But these are all basically designed to be one-click solutions for you. So we're very excited to show you that. So now what I'm really excited to show you is, first of all, 2 things here. I just want to show you what Dennis's work looks like on a live stream. So Joy had tweeted this. This is Joy, who's on the line with me, and she's a scuba diver if you can't tell. But here's the link to and what it looks like on Twitter, and here is a link that she has shared from Dennis's book and what it looks like on Facebook. You'll notice too that she's personalizing the post and changing the automated language that comes with when you share on Bublish. So real quickly, actually, I'm going to do, I'm going to just log out and show you the sharing here as a reader. I don't want to share in Dennis's account because he is has that, of course, tied to his account. And how are we doing on time? I want to make sure we get to, that's my crazy account. I don't have, so this is like the newest bubble that's on Bublish. And I just want to show you as a reader how I can share this. and it's the same way that you share it when you publish. So it's just saying share here, but to my Facebook account, it just basically pops up, populates with the book bubble, and I can add my own, information to the post here. So I haven't read this book bubble because it just went live, but as you can see, I have the opportunity to do that. I highly recommend that when you post to your own Facebook page, you do a different introduction. That's a great way too with evergreen content. So you've got your 5 digital assets that you've created on Bublish, your book bubbles that you want to share. You can change the posting to give it a different little twist when you share it. I can also share it on Twitter. This is going to share to Bublish's account because my reader account is tied to that. You will see that we auto-populate with information here, but you can change this up. Let's pretend I'm the author, and I want to share, just wrote a new book bubble for my readers. I hope you'll take a look and share it. Now, we do, if you put in Bublish Me, we will retweet anything that has our name in it, so it's a great way to alert us, and then we can share it into our population of readers. The other thing that's interesting, like this is a mystery thriller, so let's just make this a little shorter. Enjoy and share. And let's put in a hashtag for mystery. So you can research the hashtags around your genre, and also there are some great hashtags like I'm reading, and if you connect them, what happens with a hashtag is that now people who don't follow you as an individual but are interested in this topic of looking for books that other people are reading or in mystery or whatever genre you write in, they can connect with you and become interested in you because they found you via one of these hashtags. So hashtags are a very powerful way to expand your network. I'm just going to cancel that, and then I can also email people this book bubble if I'd like to share it. So now to unveil, so take a look at book bubbles the way they were, and here we're going to go over to our demo site. This is not live yet. I'm extremely excited to show you guys. This is the new bubble design with follow. It is not only did we redesign the bubble to put all the action calls, those actions that you'd like to have the readers take, but we've just redesigned it to be even more elegant and to really get the readers to take action on your content, which is what we want them to do. So we either want them to buy your book from one of the retailers where it's available. We want them to share it via Facebook, Twitter, or email. We want them to follow you. Now, what this is if I am in, so perhaps I've never heard of Dennis Winstead and I've never heard of Bublish, but Dennis or someone in his network has shared this book bubble, and I, as a reader, have encountered it. I have the capacity to completely experience every aspect of your work without knowing anything about Bublish. I can go and buy your book, I can share your bubble, and now I can follow you. Now, I am logged into Bublish, so it is not going to ask me to sign up, but this follow button is meant to, from the social space, people can follow you, and they will start receiving email updates about you via email right from your, every time you create a book bubble. Now, I will show you, now I have a follow board. You can see this. And it shows me all the authors that I, as a reader, am following. So now every time, because I'm following Dennis, every time that he creates a book bubble, I will get a beautifully designed email with that book bubble and the ability to buy the book right from the email, or go ahead and engage with him in some other way. Now, the next phase of this will be that we will be releasing for our premium authors, our subscribers, a one-click email template that will be customized with all of your books, your images, and all you'll have to do is provide the content and say, share this email with my followers. So if you have a reading or you have another book coming up, you'll be able to speak directly to them in their email box, and they have given you permission by clicking the follow button on a bubble. So we've made this really simple for you to start to draw these readers into a longer term relationship with you. And the last thing is, of course, they can comment on this bubble through Facebook. They don't have to have any connection with you on Facebook in order to do that. And then the comment stream that is created around the bubble will travel with the bubble for other people to engage in and read. And the other thing to know about this release, it not only has follow and a redesigned bubble, but we've put more intelligence into the bubble stream, and our mobile, which we're seeing a lot more engagement on mobile, has always been very minimalistic. We haven't had all the functionality there that we have on a lot of on the main PC version of the platform, and that is going to change because we've put all the functionality onto the mobile stream. So that is just days away from being released, and we're thrilled to show it to you. And if anyone has any questions about any of those features, just please feel free to ask questions now, and we'll just leave the last 10 minutes open for questions. And I think, did I cover everything, Joy? There's a lot to cover now, a lot of features.
You did cover everything, Kathy. One comment was that this is much more clear, and they really love the size as far as the new book bubble goes. One thought was that there was fear that with more bubbles means more emails to an already harried email inbox, and wanted to know if they'd missed something.
Well, the thing is, they're giving permission to you that they are, people have crowded inboxes, but when they permission to have that come into their inbox, and that's what you want, is you want full permission to message someone. You never want to spam mail. You want to make sure you have that permission. So the one thing I think that we will end up probably doing is putting a cap on the number of emails that, or the number of bubbles that an author could create in a day, simply not to crowd an inbox. And then as part of the second phase of the release, we will also give the readers the option to get a weekly or perhaps monthly digest. So, activity from the authors that you follow, and we'll make it so that they can customize their inbox experience. There are people who are really hungry for new book content, and they love to get these things. And then there are people who have more crowded inboxes who would like to minimize the amount of times things come in. And as phase 2 of this release, that is, something we're cognizant of, and we will let the reader choose. I hope that answers the question.
I think that answers it just fine.
Anything else, Joy?
Any other questions? Well, Kathy, since there aren't any other questions at this time, one thing that I did want to bring up to everyone is that we are going to start here having monthly webinars twice a month. So this webinar that you've just experienced will be repeated at the beginning of every month. And then we will have a thought leadership webinar that will happen at the end of every month. And that information will come out in the emails that we send and will also be posted in our blogs and tweeted and put on Facebook and all the various social media outlets. So our next webinar is going to be Wednesday, January the 28th. And the topic is find and connect with influencers in your genre. So I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and sign up for that and share that information with other authors that you know that might benefit from it. And again, that will be not a demo, but thought leadership that helps you figure out how to make marketing work well for you.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you that too, just to put in my plug for why we chose this particular topic is, you know, a lot of people say, well, I want to get to the readers, I want to get to the readers. Well, one of the best ways to find the readers that might be interested in your book and start conversations with them is to go to successful, influential authors in your genre and watch the engagement there, but also start to engage with the people that they influence. And we are just going to show you a number of tips and tricks on how to locate those influencers in your genre and then become part of the conversation that they're having with their users, and it becomes a very organic kind of migration of their followers to your following if it's done well. So just a lot of tips and tricks on that, a very powerful way if you're new to social marketing to learn from people who are already doing it successfully. All right, well, if we don't have any more questions, Joy, you think we should just wrap it up? I certainly don't want to miss any questions, and just so you know, I am Kathy at Bublish.com. Those of you who know me know I'm here to help, and so is Joy. We really are here to make you successful, and whatever questions you have, never hesitate to ask us. We're here to answer them. And I will also say on every page of Bublish, and I failed to show this to you, but hopefully you saw it on the screen, there's a little contact button, and if you click it, a little box will pop up and you can ask us a question right there in the moment, and someone from our support team will get back with you and answer your question as quickly as possible. We try to be really responsive. I have been a writer my whole life, and I know how much effort it takes to create great content as your product, so be it a blog or a magazine or your book, but then you have to do this promotional content. So it's all very time consuming, and we're here to help you on the marketing side, give you more time to do what you need to do, which is write great books, but reach new readers so that more people can read the wonderful books you're creating. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to us socially or through our connect button, our contact button, or via email.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Kathy, and thank you to those of you who are able to join us today. We will be posting a recording of this in the near future, and we'll let you know when that happens. And